7:20 on May 19th. I'm going to only spend 3 hours on this morning. My intention is to start with the captain of Watsonville and see what way they want to proceed. He left me a pretty respectful message, understanding after I contacted the city attorney's office and city managers about what's continuing to happen there, through both dispatch and their duty officers refusing me service. So after me following his directions and his instructions of how he wanted me to take this, so I'm gonna call him back here at 8 this morning and see kind of what position we're at and where they want to try to take this. My end goal is the same. My intention is obviously get safe from Anita Gabriel and get it of record so that her continued abuse of my identity and her false reporting and stuff stops, so I can go on and live some type of quality of life, if it takes, me having to deal with it through administration and document what James Dyer, Ken Tassel, and my mom, along with Sarah Snyder and Winnie Barnes from the director of programs for in-home supportive services or healthcare services there, dealing with, APS and having, assured that all my reporting gets concealed. That's what I could care about. Some goofy secretaries that decided I was guilty and convicted and intentions to try to make it appear that way because they can't do their job appropriately, then that's fine too. They're not leaving me a choice, so we'll take it where we're at from there.
Aaron, this is Captain Mike McKinley, Watsonville Police Department. I spoke to you on the 12th, and I'm calling back. Actually, I'm sorry, I spoke to you on May 14th yesterday. You wanted a file a complaint, and you wanted an internal affairs case number. I have that for you. It is IA 2025-003. I will be the assigned investigator. You've given me some basic information. I will be looking into it, and when I'm ready, I will be calling you back to set up an interview. In the meantime, if you have any additional information for me, feel free to email it to me. It's Michael, MICHAEL .McKinley, MCKINLEY @Watsonville, WATSONVILLE.gov. And again, you have my desk number. It's 831-768-3323. I have also talked to Captain Donnie Phone, who oversees our patrol division. If for any reason you're having difficulty making a report, a crime report, he's the one to contact. His phone number is 831-768-3314. Hope to talk to you once I'm ready, okay? And I will be reaching out to you at some point to set up an interview. If you have any questions in the meantime, please call me back at my office number. Thank you.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. To save.
Aaron, this is Captain Mike McKinley, Watsonville Police Department.
Let's note that as of May, this is only the third internal affairs report going of record through Watsonville PD. This is systemic. 7:35 on May 19th of 2020. 7:25 on May 19th of 2025. I'm calling Watsonville City Administration to let them know that I received a call from Captain McKinley on Friday in regards to the internal affairs, and that give them an idea of what my intentions are here for moving forward. So let's give that a call.
You have reached the City Administrative Offices for the City of Watsonville. Para español, oprime el número 9. Our regular business hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Press 1 for the City Manager. Press 2 for Human Resources. Press 3 for the City Clerk. Press 4 for the City Attorney.
Oh, manager.
Please wait while your call is being transferred. Please leave a message after the tone. When you've finished, please hang up.
Hi, good morning. It's Aaron Fanning. It's May 19th. I'm calling at 7:35. I was calling to let you guys know that I did get a message from Captain McKinley. I do appreciate and respect that. It was a constructive, respectful message, kind of understanding where we were at. I wanted to advise you guys that my intention is to engage with him today and at the beginning of the day here, and see if we can't constructively direct this, like I was hoping, towards the appropriate party. So that, so the reason and cause for all of this misunderstanding and why there's upset and contentions here can get resolved amicably, or constructively, at least as amicably as possible, and redirect the attention and focus to what is the issue and concern. The statements that, people presume that this is a civil issue. There's nothing civil about commercial crimes, and they're complex crimes. But yeah, it's super bad. So I'd like to try to move forward, and the end goal of either direction of reporting for me is the same. My intention is to make sure that I'm safe from further harm, so I'm not incurring false reports, and I'm not being abused further by estranged family members who have done some nasty, nasty things to me for the last 15 years. That's my only care and concern. So yeah, hopefully that's the direction that we can move forward. That way, the last call can kind of, these situations can end up being, exactly what they are, demonstrated what they are as, these are symptoms and issues of the true problem, and the misunderstanding and miscommunications due to the years of false reporting, leaving me no civil rights, presumed convicted and guilty, and before even a suspect or even discussed anything with me, repeatedly. So yeah, it's bad that, I was stuck there for a year when you guys can see that, oh wow, someone that, definitely abusing another human being in front of us and on record while being dismissed. So we can just point the upset and the concern to the right party. I can continue to move on with my life. That's the whole goal. Appreciate you, and look forward to speaking with Captain McKinley this morning here, just to kind of vet where we are on things, and see what more documentation that we're interested of getting on record here, or if there's not just enough here, along with my credit card receipts and communications with Anita Gabriel, who is false reporting me repeatedly and abusing your services and trying to inflict me further harm, isn't mitigated. So thank you very much. Look forward to talking with Captain McKinley. 8:30 on May 19th, calling Captain Mike McKinley, Watsonville PD. He's the professional and standards captain. So let's give them a holler back. 9:30 on May 19th, calling Captain Mike McKinley, Watsonville PD.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hi, good morning, Captain McKinley. This is Aaron Fanning calling, May 19th, 8:30 a.m. I did leave a message with the city manager's office as well. Received your message. Appreciate it. Respectfully, I don't want to have to call back. What happened was unfortunate. But what I left the message with city managers is, my end intention and goal here is obviously the same. Either route that I have to go through. The credit card receipts and the communications that I have, and, even being financed for being out in Nevada and Anita Gabriel knowing the whole time where I was, everything being supposedly great because she was helping me get access to this trust. Concurrent to her false reporting is, easily understood as, officers were misled and, confused my identity for someone else's due to that. And so obviously it's going to be the easiest route for resolution. And wasn't so sure about having to start any new incident numbers about reporting because, well, I've tried to. That's why we're here. So I'm going to go ahead and give this other captain a call and try and see if we don't have a constructive path to get some results here and make sure that this is, appropriately mitigated, and with least burden to either yourself or myself or, obviously the municipality that's been getting used and abused with false reporting and, abusive services and all that good stuff. And, putting officers in a position to be misinformed and possibly making some very grave mistakes. So appreciate it and look forward to hearing back from you at your earliest convenience about that. Yep. And if you're not positive, it's about the IA case number 3 for 2005. So appreciate it. (8:39) on May 19th, contacting this other captain that McKinley told me to call for Watsonville PD.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hi, good morning. My name is Aaron Fanning. My phone number is going to be 831-348-2786, 831-348-2786. I got your number from Captain McKinley after kind of what unfortunately keeps happening through my calls for service. I have my credit card documentation and also my communication log with Anita Gabriel to document her, 3 false reports and abusive services calling in September and October of last year. Things have been going mighty inappropriate that unfortunately has resulted in there actually being internal affairs case number issued. And the city manager and city attorneys are well aware. So I've left a message to Mr. McKinley, or Captain McKinley as well. Understandably, there's, not understandably, it's probably the most constructive resolution is that, if officers have been misled, and the department was misled, and potentially somehow were misidentifying me because of that as well, of being in county, when I have definitely the documentation to prove that I was far from county and I was far from any type of threat. Nita Gabriel was supposedly helping me get access to my inheritance that had been part of my inheritance, which is a trust that she's been executive of for over 15 years, meaning she's actually been getting paid to assure that I had access to that trust. It was left by my grandmother, not even family related to her. But anyway, that's irregardless. What is of concern is that my call for service on September 4th last year was closed out. And I was following up on her own online reporting for the terroristic threats against both of our lives, causing me to be subjected to more on September 8th and September 10th, challenging me to kill myself and be ready to be in prison for the rest of my life with a dick in my ass. That's why she knowingly helped finance me fleeing the state. September 10th, I was out of you guys' county. It took me a while to get all the way into Nevada, but I was there as of the night of the 12th, and it's super well documented where I was and how concerned she was that for some reason, police aren't intervening. I don't know. It's a shame that you just keep getting abused and threatened like this. When I came to Santa Cruz to help make sure she was safe, and it's documented also, like, it's pretty bad. Her dealings with things are bad. So I do need to call back urgently early this morning here, so I don't have to instigate new incident numbers, and we're trying to mellow out the amount of reporting and burden that's been caused by Anita Gabriel's false reporting and providing false documentation that she had no access to. So yeah, I look forward to moving forward productively to assure that both the liabilities that I've been incurring with the harms and the threats and somehow being convicted without being in a court and being refused to make sure that there's equitable records kept and allowed to be subjected to more abuse and extortion is wild. So, yeah, look forward to speaking with you this morning.
To accept and set message options, press 1. To replay, press 2. To erase and re-record, press 3. To continue recording, press 4. To cancel, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press 0. To accept and set message options, press 1. To replay, press 2. To send now, press the pound key. To mark as high importance, press 1. To return to the previous menu, press the star key. Message marked as high importance. To send now, press the pound key. To mark as normal, message sent with high importance. Goodbye.
9/27,
You have reached the non-emergency number for the
May
Watsonville Police
19th.
Department. If you are reporting a crime in progress, press 1 now to speak to a dispatcher or remain on the line to hear more options. If you do not have a touch-tone phone, remain on the line and you will be connected to a dispatcher. Ha marcado al Departamento de Policía de Watsonville. Esta línea es para reportar incidentes que no son de emergencia. Para continuar en español, oprima 8. Si no tiene un teléfono de teclas, por favor permanezca en la línea y se conectará con un despachador. Crimes with no suspect information that occurred within the city limits should be reported online. Go to www.watsonvillepd.com to see online reportable crimes. For hours open to the public, to obtain a copy of a police report, or to get information about property release, press 2 for the Records Division. To be connected to the abandoned vehicle line, press 3.
You have reached the Records Division for the Watsonville Police Department. Para español, oprime el número 9. Press 1 to speak to an officer, file a report, or to speak to the on-duty watch commander. Press 2 to speak with the next available records representative. Your call will be in the order.
Hi, good morning. Who am I speaking with?
Veronica?
Hi, Veronica. My name's Aaron Fanning. I'm calling through records. I got left a message by Captain McKinley. And because of what's kind of ongoing, I'm supposed to engage with, I believe it's Captain, Donnie, is it Fold or Folt? I'm not sure. I have his phone number. I'm sorry, is it Folt or Fold? Just so I have the right name.
Paul, P-H-U-L.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Paul. So I have his number. I left him a message earlier. I don't know if he's on duty today. I know that McKinley had kind of indicated that he was not going to be available this week so much. And I was trying to avoid having to call in and have a new incident number created. They kind of know what's going on, so I was wondering if maybe if the captain on duty could kind of just be let know that I was trying to get in contact with them without trying to have to start an incident number to facilitate things. I'd really appreciate that.
Okay, so it says that he's supposed to be here, so I can transfer to his extension.
Oh, he is supposed to be there?
Yes, Captain Paul, yes. Captain McKinley, he said he's not going to be here this week.
Okay, yeah, that would be wonderful if I could talk to Captain Paul.
Okay, 1 second.
Thank you, man. And that was that. So we'll try that again.
If you are reporting a crime in progress, press press 1 now to speak to a dispatcher, or remain on the line to hear more options. Watsonville Police Department, this is Brianna. How can I help you?
Hi, Brianna. My name's Aaron Fanning. I've been directed by Captain Mike McKinley that I'm supposed to have Captain Paul, Donnie Paul, engage with me about reporting. I tried to call the number that was left for me directly for him. I left a message this morning. I didn't get a response yet. I tried to just call through records to try to get in contact with him so I didn't have to start an incident number. But unfortunately, I got left ringing for literally 10 minutes, and then it suddenly picked up and hung up on me. So I need to go ahead and start an incident number. And so we're kind of open and fair about this. This is being directed from the city managers and city attorney's office. So.
Okay. And what's the address?
The local address of concern is 446 Tuttle.
Okay, give me 1 second, okay?
Yep.
Okay. And what's the incident that's happening?
So let me get and I appreciate your help and your professionalism. What's the incident number for my call right now?
I haven't created a call yet because I don't know what.
So I told you why I've called. If I'm being directed from city administration that I'm supposed to be talking to Captain Paul, and I'm not able to get in contact with him, if we want me to start because there's an internal affairs investigation going. The case number is 2025-0003. So I was lucky enough to be the third person in your guys' city to actually be able to even make a legal complaint. So if I need to start another incident number, we can do that. Elsewise, we see the records of my calls for service says September 4th, where September 4th, my call for service was closed out and concealed, where I came into town to follow up about the online reporting that Anita Gabriel did. It was concealed and closed out, and instead I was subjected to more threats, challenging me to either kill myself or to be ready for the rest of my life, to be in prison for the rest of my life with a dick in my ass. And that all got concealed. And the problem ends up being is that we document that Anita Gabriel has been false reporting, as she did in September and October, as documented between my communications with her, and also verifiable by my own expense records and receipts that I was out of your guys' county on the 10th and in Nevada, as she knew and had paid for me to get there September 12th at night. And so then there was false reporting taken that's having to be investigated because officers were claiming to see and engage with me in the streets there, which never happened. So I was trying to make sure that we could avoid adding another incident number because I called last week. Oh, no. There's no reporting been done. We need to take reporting and deal with this. The reason this advanced is because last week, sergeants there felt they were entitled to refuse me service and tell me if I had any reporting I needed to do, I needed to come in person and fill out a form. So please, I'm trying, and I understand that it's not you that's obstructing me engaging with somebody, but my identity is actively being stolen, as I tried to report last week, as it was proven by just received county documents from a California Public Records Act that someone there has claimed that I am enrolled and engaged with in-home supportive services in your county when I've been in Nevada since September, including your officers since then, misreporting and claiming that they've been engaged with me in the streets of Watsonville, which is documented as not true. So we need to do some investigation about Anita Gabriel's false reporting, because everybody wants to see that's what really happened, because elsewise it's officers that have been maliciously falsifying documents and reports against me, as opposed to them having misidentified me because they were misled through false reporting. So we're trying to report false reports coming from 446 Tuttle there in September and October of last year. All right?
Okay, I have your incident number.
What is that?
Okay, it's 25 dash.
What's that?
25 dash.
Yes?
17.
Yes?
371.
71. And all right, could you please make sure that someone calls me back today about that, since I've not gotten to talk to anybody about it? And I was directed by Captain McKinley to make sure that I contacted Captain Paul if I had any issues and concerns about getting reporting in.
Okay, I will go ahead and send this over, okay?
Thank you. And I apologize for the upset. We shouldn't be in this part of the conversation. It's not cool what happened to me, so I appreciate your time.
Of course, have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Yeah. That's a case against me. Hello? Hello?
Hello, I'm trying to get hold of Aaron Fanning, please.
This is Aaron Fanning. Who am I speaking with?
Sergeant Juan Trujillo with Watsonville Police Department.
Hi, sir.
How you doing? How can I help you, sir?
Well, I appreciate the call back. I want to start the call like that. I don't mean for there to be problems between me and the department. We find ourselves kind of in a weird position because of an unusual situation. It's not my fault. It's not the department's fault. So what's going on is there's been a lot of false reporting coming out of 446 Tuttle regarding me. The problem is I've been able to document that there's some concerns about some misaction, but it's understandable why some people might have presumed they thought they were dealing with me in the streets, when I can document for you with my receipts and my communications with Anita Gabriel that no, everything was supposedly really fine, and she's supposedly like happy that we've reconnected because of all the threats that were going on and this, that, and the other. Very proven is that she did the online reporting in the end of August. I had no engagement with her for years. I tried to reach out to her in December of 23 when I started getting these terroristic threats, and I advised her that people were threatening her life. As she knows, for some reason, I'm not able to get a lot of law enforcement reporting in, that please try to protect yourself. I didn't hear back from her till the end of August of last year. That was after I found this probate from my grandmother, from my father's side of the family, that has a trust. Suddenly, my mom engages with me. She knew I was under a lot of threat. She does the online reporting there, assures me that your department promised that, yes, this is enforceable. So I came down to Santa Cruz on September 3rd. In respect to the past confusion, I stayed in Capitola, and I contacted your law enforcement agency on September 4th to let you guys know that I was local, that I wanted to know, did you guys want me to come down to Watsonville, or I'm in Capitola? How do we proceed about those online threats? Instead, my call somehow got closed out. And I get more threats September 8th and September 10th, now challenging me to either kill myself or to be ready to be in prison for the rest of my life with a dick in my ass. So my mom, knowing this was going on, had me come down from Capitola to say hello after we haven't seen each other in years. I took a shower, and she helped me to make sure that I was on the road leaving the state. I left the county on the 10th. I made it into Nevada on the 12th at night. She knew exactly where I was, and we were actually supposedly doing great, because she realized my dad's side of the family had been abusing and causing me all kinds of concerns over an inheritance I didn't know anything about, I didn't care about, and I had no intentions on. So what ends up happening on those dates that she's claimed that she's reporting, like the 14th, oh, that's the date she actually gets copy of the probate for us that discloses the name of the trust that I'm the beneficiary of and that she's been the executor of and getting paid to make sure I got those funds for the last 15 years. Officers there were sure they were engaged with me in the streets. When my receipts will document for you, my mom knew exactly where I was in Fallon, Nevada, and was staying there overnight because I was out of gas money while she's giving me money for cigarettes, and supposedly we were having this like wonderful reunion after years of shit. So what ended up happening when I tried to call last week and I got unfortunately hung up on, and there was some miscommunication that I'm not allowed to report. I have to come in person and fill out paperwork. The city managers and the attorney know that wasn't right. So we came back. McKinley has an investigation going on. He told Captain Full that I'm supposed to engage. So what happened is that, and now document as of April 2nd, you have the director for your healthcare services there for in-home supportive services and adult protective services.
Who's that?
Her name's Whitney Barnes. She's a county worker there. She's the director of programs. In her email exchanges that I pulled, she's claiming that I have recently re-enrolled in services there. Someone's using my social security and claiming that I'm engaged with service behavioral health there. I have not been in your guys' state since September. My upset, I appreciate your professionalism. I really apologize for the tone. I've been through a world of shit. I have your whole department. I as I told Gombos when I tried to explain what was going on, we had our conversations, has become kind of an issue. Look, I respect and appreciate people trying to jump to some elderly lady making allegations about her son. I get that. But what has never been afforded is anybody trying to engage with me or see, is it possible? Is this guy guilty or not? I've been convicted and assured that no one would even take any reporting from my side. So there was an equitable chance for me to be heard in the courts. And instead, things escalated to the point where, dude, I'm having to contact the city managers and the city attorneys to try to go, hey, look, I'm pulling records. Dude, Gombos, I don't have any problem against her. Like, I'm trying to, like, literally, the reason I tried to call the way that I called today was to defer any more records going on negatively about anything.
Okay.
I'm trying to be constructive.
Mr. Fanning, can you hear me out?
Yeah.
So our administration is aware of your phone calls, and they basically asked me to document an email to them advising you of your follow-up call.
Cool.
So they'll be made aware of.
And I respect that entirely. I completely respect that. I'm trying to be constructive, like legitimately, dude. Like, I'm not trying to. The problem is like, the only reason that I had to go the route that I had to go was because I'm still trying to get to the same end line. And the end line has nothing to do with you guys. I've just been getting victimized for fucking years. Gombos, I have nothing personal against this lady. But what the city admin saw, dude, there's a declaration from Anita Gabriel admitting to having had me kidnapped in 2009 and defrauding court in my name. She's crazy. I was raised in the Church of Scientology. What's also documented is, for some reason, the privacy officer for your county, James Dyer, had communications September 4th at 2 p.m. with the privacy officer for Sonoma County, Ken Tassel, and Sarah Snyder. Ken Tassel, my only relationship with him is he's a Scientologist that used to work with my parents in the org where they had me. It's a very, very large inheritance. It's super weird. But it was bizarre that at 2 p.m., suddenly he's notifying the privacy officer who's got nothing to do with my healthcare even or whatever. He has no reporting power. His job is to make sure that the county is compliant about not breaching someone's privacy rights. He contacts James Dyer, who's a Scientologist, and Sarah Snyder, who's a social worker. And then suddenly my reporting that I did manage to get in on September 4th, or I thought I did, and I even left the officer a commendation because I believed I was getting to protect my mom's life. Well, that got closed out, and the only thing that actually went on record was Sarah Snyder making allegations that I was stalking and threatening her life. So something weird went. That's why your administration wants to know how the call went. And I will also follow up with them and let them know that I appreciate it. My concern is that it's not you guys. We've just gotten to a position that, yeah, it's not great. But, and also, like, there's concern is like, yo, am I going to freak out and file torts? My intention is strictly to get safe from my family. I have no fiscal interest. I'm not trying to cause drama for your police department. The only reason I was in the county there between September 3rd and September 10th, and what I left a commendation that went off record for Deputy Fish up there in Santa Cruz, is that I was grateful that I could report the threats on my mom's life. I get that no one cares about me, that I'm a throwaway piece of shit, but to not be able to report threats against your mom's life is gnarly. And then at the same time, while she's reporting against me, no one recognizes it. Like, wait a minute, you got 2 more threats challenging you to either kill yourself or be ready to be in the prison for the rest of your life. And no one took record of these threats. They only went, I managed, because I'm smart enough that I got copies of them on like the board of supervisors so that I could try to access them if I got hurt any further. You know what I'm saying? Like any mom, no matter how much bullshit there would be or whatever between us, yo, any other mom, if someone's threatening their kid's life, especially one that she already reported online that she wanted followed up with, suddenly is allowing more. Also, what you guys don't know is that she tells me right when I get down there that June of last year, she decided that somehow she dispossessed me of my title of my vehicle. Right out from underneath me. She decided to sign a release of title of my vehicle with no authority. Didn't tell me. She claimed that she thought I was dead, so she just decided to mitigate my estate. It was my truck full of tools. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not a normal situation. So I appreciate you hearing me out on that, dude.
Okay, Mr. Fanny, like I said, I'm going to send this email, and then I wish you best of luck, okay?
What do you mean best of luck? Who's talking to me about getting... I have
to get going.
Who is going to be taking copy of...
Like I told you, I'm emailing our administration who is aware of...
All right, and so I'm going to send them copy of this video. If you're not going to get me an investigator to get documentation of these copies of whatever, because what I got given, as I know, is a case number, not an incident number for my attempt to report again.
Okay, sir. At this point, I have to end the conversation because I have to go and deal with some other tasks. But I want you...
So make sure Captain Paul calls me back.
Administration is aware of your phone calls.
And what I'm telling you is this was recorded, and I'm sending this right to your administration so I have access to it.
Okay, sounds good, sir.
All right, make sure an investigator contacts me back.
Have a good day, sir.
Make sure an investigator contacts me back.
Goodbye, sir.
Make sure an investigator contacts me back. 10:06 on the 19th.
You have reached the city administrative offices for the city of Watsonville. Para español, oprime el número 9. Press 1 for city manager. Press 2 for human resources. Watsonville City Manager's office.
Hi, good morning. Who am I speaking with?
This is Rosie.
Hi, Rosie. I want to try to start like super constructive. My name's Aaron Fanning. I left a message earlier today. I really appreciate the help that I've actually have felt like I've received from your department. I apologize for the position that I found myself in. And what I mean by that is I don't mean for my upset to deflect at anybody inappropriately. So trying to follow up because things are going weird. The officers aren't really thrilled that there has been an internal affairs started. You know, it's case number 3, which is wild for, you know, being in May. I'm cool with it. I'm not trying to correct officers. I don't really want to have anything to do with your guys' like municipality. And what I mean by that is like, I don't care what goes on there. I don't want to, you know, have any impact. I don't want to be any of my concern, right? Like, so I've talked to Captain Mike McKinley. You guys followed up, and so yeah, everybody seems to be pissed at me. It's not my fault that officers are behaving the way they are, and I'm recording it. I'm just trying to get safe. He let me know that there's that case number started, that, you know, he's going to call me back about doing an interview, and that it started. So the reason I had to follow up last week was because I was refused reporting, and I was told that I have to come in and fill out paperwork. When McKinley called me back, he advised me to contact Captain Donnie Cole if I had any issues with reporting. So I tried to contact him this morning because McKinley's not there apparently, and I left a voicemail. I tried to leave a very constructive voicemail, which I recorded to make sure I can provide for you guys. And I got no response for an hour. And I get it. We get busy at times. So I called and I tried to be real respectful of the situation and call through records. My intention to call through records was to try to not have to start a new incident number, because the problem's been I've been refused service. And we've been allowed malicious reporting when my credit card bills and my communication with Anita Gabriel will prove 100% that, no, this is wrong. And even, you know, being that we have the declaration from her stating that, you know, yeah, she had me detained against my will and defrauded court in my name back in 2009 and had done it again in 2019 or 2020 is wild. So they tried to transfer me off to him because he's on duty, and I record me being on hold for 10 minutes, which I'm fine with. Then the phone gets lifted up and hung up. So I decided to call and trying to start an incident number. If I have to, not even, but if I have to, here's a track so I can record. I'm trying to say something's wrong. And the people at dispatch, she was like, oh, well, I don't have a number for your call. What's the problem? And I told her, I'm trying to report that as of, what I was trying to report last week, that as of April 2nd of last month, April 2nd last month, you have Whitney Barnes, the director for Adult Protective Services and Adult In-Home Supportive Services, stating that I have been re-enrolled in care there. I'm in Nevada. Someone is using my social security number and now somehow claiming that I'm involved with behavioral health. I'm not. We also document that while my car was closed out for service, trying to follow up about my mom's online reporting about terroristic threats. Yeah, they know it's closed out, and I was subjected to more September 8th and September 10th, which is why my mom sponsored me leaving the state, because the threats on September 8th are challenging me to either kill myself or be ready to be in prison for the rest of your life with a dick in your ass. So that's scary. So, right? Because I don't want cops to hurt me. I just want to report someone's threatening my mom's life. So she goes, oh, I have an incident number for you. She gives me incident number 25-17371. That's not an incident number. That's a case number. I'm not dumb and I'm not incompetent. The only disability I have is I'm severely dysgraphic. I have written communication issues. That's a case number against me, with your officers continuing to refuse to take any evidence of record. He also advised me in that recorded call that your administration wanted to know how that call went. And the call ends with me asking him, when is an investigator or someone going to call me back so I can provide the evidence so the appropriate party And they hang up.
You have
Call 'em right
reached
back.
the city administrative offices for the city of Watsonville. Para español, oprime el número 9. Press 1 for city manager. Press 2 for...
City manager's office.
Yeah, hi. I just got disconnected accidentally, I believe.
Yeah, that was actually.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
I
what?
know it was video
So what's?
service.
Well, yeah. I've had to flee the state. I've been trapped in the desert, as my mom keeps making false reports, and that officers don't want to see that. And while officers were apparently erroneously thinking that they were engaging with me in the streets there. So Whitney Barnes, the director, is what I was trying to report. She's claiming that somehow I've been re-enrolled in services there. I'm in a different state. It's also been documented with the state's healthcare services fraud investigation unit, because they were already investigating that department's for in-home supportive services fraud in my name in the past, because I was getting mail while I was paying taxes in a different state in 2021. So I'm not being able to report. What is happening is that instead of me getting an incident number for my even calling today, they gave me a case number. And then the sergeant get on the phone with me while I'm supposed to be talking to the captain, tries to get off the phone with me after telling me that he's supposed to send an email to city admin about how that call went. So I'm going to send you guys a copy of the recorded conversation, where he ends the call with telling me that that's it. They are not going to get me an investigator, as I kindly respectfully ask, like, constructively, when are we going to get an investigator so I can provide you guys the documentation, i.e. my credit card receipts, my mom, the one that's sending me the Venmo money, knowing exactly where I was, with us supposedly having like a very constructive first time in years of my life, because apparently my dad's side of my family, we've now realized why I was getting so fucked with and threatened for years and years of my life. And that she was actively trying to get your guys' police department to investigate those threats against both of our lives that escalated after the initial reporting and while I was in the county when I had to leave September 10th, because I'm being challenged to either kill myself or be ready to be in prison for the rest of my life with a dick in my ass. That's not appropriate. Someone there actively is using my social security number. It's not appropriate. And instead of this completely ending 1,000% easy, like understandably, and go, oh yeah, clearly the officers just mistook me for someone else, and hold the appropriate party who's been false reporting and allowing someone to, even if you guys want to say, oh, you're disabled, look at the crazy abuse that are on your guys' record we know that she's done, that I'm pulling through public records acts. Okay? I'm not trying to escalate those concerns, and that's why I was trying to contact you guys and trying to find a route, instead of me having to send Captain McKinley more videos or any more documentation about things that potentially that things could have gone constructively. But instead, I have a sergeant again today telling me he's got better things to do than take evidence of someone false reporting. Like, what are we doing? Why is someone being allowed to false report? That would amend and like that would completely like amend and and resolve my concerns about said officers that have had to report. Because, well, there's a difference between, no, we're going to continue and stand behind saying that you were here, as opposed to an officer was wrong about her presumption, you know what I'm saying, who they thought they were engaged with, clearly, because it's documentable with the receipts that I have, and literally the Venmo log with Anita Gabriel, like all lovey-dovey, like everything's awesome and fine, and just wait a few more days, your family's going to be sending you all this money and like all this crazy weird shit. You know what I mean? Like, instead of us going, oh wait, this is the party that's been causing this upset and concern, instead, should I send all of that documentation? Like, I'm not trying to be difficult. I don't have any interest in even like the officers. Like, it is what it is. Like, I've always tried to state that, like, it's understandable and rightly. I even told Gambos originally, I was like, I appreciate and respect like people to jump and hopefully help my moms. Like, yeah, like, cool. Can we like be civil about this? It's not me. I'm literally not. And why is this lady continuing to false report? Because literally I have JP Morgan Chase stating that I'm the sole beneficiary of a trust that's been in my name for years that I didn't know anything about. My mom's paid as an executor to make sure that I had access to that. I'm not trying to have anybody do anything above and beyond realize that, oh, wow, that would explain a lot of this false reporting. Let alone, why is someone false reporting so crazy? When she admits that, like, on records that you guys have, hung up again.
You have reached the city administrative offices for the city of Watson. Experiencing higher than normal call volume, and your call cannot be answered in the allocated time. We apologize for the wait. If you leave a message after the tone, we will return your call at our earliest opportunity.
Yeah, so it's I apologize. For some reason I got disconnected again. Yeah, I was trying to have a very constructive conversation. Trying to make sure that we can get to this just resolve and get forward here, but apparently that doesn't seem the case. Someone would like to contact me back. I'd really appreciate it. My phone number is going to be, yeah. I will go ahead and forward today's conversations and attempts. See if what course this course is taking. I guess this is really disappointing. I really was led to believe that this call and back from Sergeant Mike McKinley was going to be an opportunity for us all to move in a constructive direction, mitigating and resolving and amending all concerns, But yeah, apparently not. And that's really disappointing. I mean, you have so many people in danger. That's, Miss Barnes stating what she stated on April 2nd, trying to allege that I've re-enrolled in services there, and then actually the actual director or the manager for program manager for in-home supportive services knows that something is extremely not okay and right. It's like I didn't do anything wrong. So look forward to having someone call me back. I've been calling.